What does it mean to paint intuitively? What does it mean to choose process over end result without expectation? A lot of that is subjective, but for me, it means to choose you as the artist, to choose not necessarily a style, but to choose your emotion, to choose your feelings, to choose the way you go about choosing your colors or your movement or the tools you use. And all of that is unique to each artist. It shouldn't be that there's one way to do something. It should be that there's all ways to do something. And choosing to make the process just as valuable as the art itself is kind of what I'm here for. Like, I am all in for that game. But the days of critiquing, is it good enough and all of that, I just don't feel it has any value because it's truly in the uniqueness and the movement and even sometimes the absurdity or the obscurity of what we do, we find our power. The fear keeps us from moving into our own greatness. And so when I talk about teaching and sharing, it is not about what will we be doing. It's so much more about how will we be doing it? How will I be greater for learning more about process than I will about ending up with a pretty painting? And there's absolutely nothing wrong with ending up with a pretty painting. But it goes back to that whole notion of empowerment, enlightenment. We grow not for making one good painting. We grow by making 10 bad ones and learning more about ourselves in the process so that by the time we get to the 11th one, we are so much better for it and we've achieved something authentic. There is something so pure in the vulnerability of allowing the relationship between artist and surface to emerge, to be edited, to be screwed up and fixed multiple times, to acknowledge the broken bits in who we are as humans, and to allow nuances of things we didn't even know we needed in our art to shape our next step. I always think that in starting out, you have to learn some type of rule, but really the artist makes a living by breaking them all. And my part in the journey that I'd love to share with you is empowering you to seek the you-ness in your own process by opening all the doors and all the windows and by allowing you to choose which ones you would prefer to keep open and close. And by doing that, we share the vulnerability with each other and we make connections because art is not art without eliciting an emotion. And art that makes a connection is a powerful conversation. If your art doesn't make a way for a conversation between artist and viewer and collector, it is falling short of the magnitude of its power. The true gift of art is in the collective, in the community, in that ability to share, to be involved and encircled in the process more so than just knowing the techniques. And so I'm my mission, my purpose is to be a part of as many communities and connections as I can as an artist because that's how we grow. And that vulnerability teaches me so much about me. And that shared collective teaches me so much more about the power of the movement of art, the shared color palette, the shared surroundings, the beautiful knowledge that it is not a singular force, even though we may be working alone, that even though painting in one's solitude, it reaches more, it surpasses the room we create in, and it reaches out to a collective of people that want to be involved in that narrative that you create.